And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we talk about the... Nope. One more time. And a one. And a two. Hello, everybody.
I'll Watch It Later, take two.
Oh.
And go.
Why? Why can't we just get through this?
We need a little clacker. Go.
I'll Watch It Later. Intro, take 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. Yes! As always, I'm Aaron, joined by my two narcissistic, stupid, retarded friends, my best friend, co-host, Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
And my brother-in-law, best friend, and producer, Scott.
Hello.
He's just mad we have energy this time.
No, I'm not mad. You guys are dorks.
I don't know how much I'll keep in, but that was like the 5th time we tried that intro.
It was the 3rd, and you guys were like, well, I'm just going to have a conversation over it.
Good stuff.
So we are back with the final episode of the October double feature-a-thon, which maybe we should do double features more often because it feels a lot of time. But it's hard to watch 2 movies, so I'm not sure if that is something we should
So every
do.
week we talk about what have you watched, and he'll name off like 35 things that he's gotten to.
I know.
But he's having trouble watching the
It
2
was
movies
just
we
this-
have to watch.
It was just this week. This week.
What have you watched? Well, I have a list.
I actually have a movie that I watched that I'll talk about here in a second.
So did I.
But first, what?
I have like a couple.
Jeez Louise.
I
What did you
know.
watch?
Unfortunately,
I like how that starts.
yeah, while I was sitting and doing some work on the computer, I clicked on the Spirit Halloween movie.
Yeah, you told me about this last night.
I wanted to watch it, and then I watched the first trailer, and then like, well, I'm going to be skipping this movie.
I told Aaron, I said, think of
It's made for children.
Goosebumps on a budget.
Is
like
it a low
Goosebumps.
budget or a high
On a
budget?
very low budget.
Oof.
I thought this would have a lot of potential, being that Spirit's been around for a while, and they're kind of the cornerstone of Halloween now. It is a terrible Halloween movie. Even to sit and watch with your kids. You can sit and watch this with your kids because there's really nothing adult-like in the movie. It's the props coming to life through a spirit of Christopher Lloyd. But it is hot panda trash.
Ironically, the only way to watch this is to go to an old shopping center and find an empty building, and that's where you get to watch it.
Correct.
It's not even in a theater.
Yes.
We all know how Scott likes to hang out in empty buildings.
Hang out in empty shopping centers.
This used to be a Bash's.
I sure do miss it. Remember when I worked at
an
the
old mall.
Safeway?
Right?
Oh.
Go to any mall. It's just shut down.
What did you watch, Jordan?
It's kind of a little bit of carryover. I watched John Carpenter's The Fog. I watched the original, not the remake. I really enjoyed that movie.
Scott didn't even know there was a remake.
He didn't know any other movies existed before 1982.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so I watched that one. It's really good. I've got the 4K release that just came out. You've got that too. It's such a fun movie, and it's so basic and it's so low budget. It's this, same kind of motley crew that did the first Halloween, so everything is just like practical effects and things like that. That's right.
That Motley Crue?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mick Mars. Just retired. But it was really good. Like I'm actually happy I've seen the remake before watching this because it made me appreciate the first one a lot more than I think if I would have watched it in reverse. The story was pretty similar. I didn't like in the remake some of the changes to the lore of why the ghost pirates were coming. But I really, really enjoyed the original. I think you really should watch it.
I will. The remake had Tom Welling in it, I think.
Did.
From Smallville.
Yeah, and then
And I saw
the
that-
blonde girl from, I think, Lost. She played, like, the sister of the siblings.
Oh, okay.
So
I saw the remake in the theaters, and then I never watched it again. I don't even know if you can own that.
I don't know. I think I've seen. I know I watched it not too long ago, but I know I don't personally own it, so I must have, pirated it somehow or watched it on whatever streaming. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's kind of similar story. But I think the original does better with just
Pirates?
the overall, just everything, just the feeling of it, the overall, just uneasiness. The fog is kind of cool, and it's very early 80s, but I really enjoyed the original more than the remake, which more often than not is what happens. So I did watch that. Did you end up watching Significant Other?
Not yet, so
really
we gotta
wanna
wait.
fucking talk
We gotta
about
wait till next week because I it's on the list to watch this week. I'm gonna watch it this week no matter what.
Okay, so I watched that.
I almost watched it last night while I was in here organizing, but I actually wanted to pay attention. So
Yes.
we will get to that, but I usually don't care about spoilers, but everybody's been like, don't let anyone spoil it for you. Watch it.
No,
I was like,
and
okay.
and that's why I am going to avoid talking about it.
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait to talk about this movie.
I'll probably watch it.
It's not
tonight, to be
reinventing the
honest.
wheel. It's not the greatest. Like, I'm not trying to hype it up to be 5 out of 5 greatest movie in the world. But it's a fun movie that I think you will enjoy. In fact, I think Scott would enjoy this too.
I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it.
He's gonna watch it tonight and text
You would have
I'm
to-
watching it right now on my phone.
I was just gonna
Fucking
say
tell
you'd
you what
have to
happens.
watch a movie. You'd have to. I think you have to drive to Flagstaff again tomorrow or some shit. Did you watch anything else? Did
I
you watch
watched
the
a lot of-
movie I asked you to watch?
Which one was that one?
Damn it, Deathstream
No, I haven't gotten around to it.
or Deadstream? I think it's Deadstream.
Deadstream. It's the one on Shudder.
Yes.
No, I haven't got around to it. I know a few people that have watched it. It said it's pretty good. I
loved it.
I watched part of VHS 99. I haven't finished
Same
it, so I
people.
really don't want to get into it too much. Even though it's kind of a segmented thing where you could kind of talk about each piece individually, I'd rather just wait until I'm done as a whole. And then a friend of mine was watching Terrifier 2 on Discord and was kind of streaming it for me, so I started watching it again, and I'm telling you, that movie is kind of just comical the second time around, and he also has no idea what the fuck is going on in the storyline. So it's not just us.
I mean, I thought it was
no
comical
one
the
knows
first time
what-
Did you
around.
see that
I mean,
there's
it
a
is,
4K
but-
that's available for pre-order?
At Best Buy?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that. I'm like, after watching it again, just parts of it, I'm kind of laughing at how just comical, like I said, she, gets scalped, and then her arm gets ripped off, and then she gets, her back undone, and then she's crawling across the floor, and then he salts her and does other shit, and
Yeah.
then she's in the bed, and he's fucking with her, and she's still somehow alive. And I'm like,
and that's the problem
this
I had
is a
with
huge joke. Like, this,
Yeah.
it's kind of just dumb. So
it. It is dumb. It's a terrible movie.
the second time around is a lot more fun than it is kind of like,
We can go to Mad Monster and tell the director.
I
yes,
will.
and
I
I
will
think
tell him-
that's what we need to do.
If I go, I mean, if we wind
we're
up
gonna
going, but if I happen to see him walking through the convention hall, I will straight up be like, "Your movie is garbage."
And I'll be like, I don't agree.
and then
don't listen to him.
He'll be
He's-
walking
he'll be
around
like-
like eating a bowl of fucking $100 bills and be
Yeah.
like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I made this movie for literally the price of your house.
gonna be eating a
And-
giant
He's like,
bowl
"What
of
movie
Art
have you
Krispies."
made?" And I'll be like, "You're right."
Shit. The remake of Intruder that's coming out next year.
We'll
But
get
yeah,
to
that's
that.
pretty much it. I kind of want to get to. I mean, not on the show yet, but I'm going to be watching. Cabinet of Curiosities just came out.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There are, I think, 6 episodes.
Documentary?
No, it's kind of like a horror anthology. So each episode's about an hour long, each individual stories, and it's presented by Guillermo del Toro. And each
I knew
episode
that.
has like a pretty big cast, but they're all different stories. So like each one is, they're not, as far as I know, they're not linked. So they're just individual little horror movies, an hour long. So I really want to watch that. It's on Netflix. And then I think the only thing else that I watched last night with Wesley, because I'm running into an issue where I want to introduce him to like Halloween stuff and scary stuff, but I'm tired of watching the same.
Watch Halloween 1.
I almost thought of that with my kids because I'm like, oh, this
Not
is only
gory.
like PG-13, and I'm like, Wesley's still too young, maybe Emery. But
You have kids?
yeah, I have
I
two.
never brought it up. This is weird.
Why were you late? Oh, that's right, you were doing stuff for your kids. That's right. Anyway,
Was I late?
Yes.
It was like 102.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
110.
I got here at 1.
Yeah, I was here at 104.
You guys should both cry about it. I told you I was going to get medicine.
Yeah, but I ended up watching a
Speaking
Disney
of-
cartoon, Hulk Where Monsters Dwell or something like that. It was like it just showed up on Disney Plus. I'm like, all right, it's a Marvel thing, and it's got the Howling Commandos, werewolves, and vampires and all this shit. And it's like a little spooky thing. It was made in like 2016. I had no idea it existed, but it was fun. It was just Doctor Strange is in it. It's like a cool little cartoon. I think Harrison might get a kick out of it.
They're supposed to be coming out with like a Guardians of the Galaxy Halloween special.
It's a Christmas special.
Yes. Yeah. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah. Remember, I said it's fine.
It looks fun.
My problem with it is you see all of Chris Pratt is probably in the trailer, and it's going to focus on the two dumbest. And then Kevin
I honestly think that's the point, is that they're going to showcase them a little bit.
And then James Gunn is the CEO of DC now, so we'll see what happens there.
Good. Maybe they can get some shit done right.
Yeah.
He's going to be the new Kevin Feige, and then they're going to split off. He's going to handle the creative side of things, and he's locked in at least movie-wise for 4 years with them. And then another guy's taking over the business side of things to bring the money in. So I think it's smart doing this. People can kind of see it coming. Peacemaker is a hit. His remake of Suicide Squad, for all its faults, is still better than the original, and I think went in a better direction than
I really like that movie.
I do too, but it's nothing special. It's just better than what DC has put out, and that's the problem. It's like, yeah, that was great, but it was compared to shit.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a good move for DC. I hope they don't start off with Superman. I'm so tired of the same shit. Just do something different. Do something fun. Bring in something different and weird, and get people back on the DC hype train. And
with James
bring
Gunn,
more
movies, like
man.
Superman versus that Mixelplix.
Mr. Mix. Oh, that would be fun. You have to say my name backwards.
Right.
Fuck.
I don't know what it is with DC, man. I mean, you've got great characters, and the way that they've done this
cinematically, they've fucked it up, and they segmented everything.
And none of us have seen Black Adam.
I don't want to. Like, we were supposed to go last week, and we didn't. And we were supposed to go after the shows that we recorded, and we didn't. So we were going to go last night, and then we're both like, well, I mean, Call of Duty came out.
Yeah.
We should do that instead. And we didn't go to the Black Adam again. And from what I hear, it's only tracking to make about $26 million, which, to everybody here, yeah, sounds great. That's a 63% drop from weekend 1 to weekend 2. That is insane for that type of movie.
It's funny because my Friday was like compounded. I was like, okay, all I want to do is get off work and go play Call of Duty. And I hit up Best Buy, and they were like, we're the only Best Buy in the state that didn't get the game. And I'm like,
are you fucking kidding?
How is that even possible? So I had to track it down. The GameStop by my house didn't have it. I found it at a random Target. So I was like, okay. Finally got it, came home, and then we had to do something. Me and Kim had to do something. And then that took way longer than we thought it was going to take. We had to go to Costco. And that took forever.
Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond if he has time.
No, and then I came home and I was like, I'm going to play this game. And then my dog started barking. And then I realized I had way too many movies that I had to categorize. So I categorized them, and now I'm good.
I thought he was going to stop at movies.
Way too many movies. I walked up to his house today, and there's this giant box, which I'm assuming has a giant piece of furniture in it. But
Yes.
at first I thought, that's a lot of movies. They're just starting to bust them in.
Actually, I'm going to need you to bringing that inside. But
damn it.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
My big mouth.
All three of us. All right. Well, speaking of things that are okay at best, let's talk about your movie, Scott.
Oh, we're just jumping right into that one.
Yeah.
So, for the first movie, we're going to go with the 1989 horror slasher directed by Scott Spiegel, Intruder.
Good evening, Walnut Lake shoppers.
It's closing time,
The store will be closing in 15 minutes.
but the night crew still has work to do
Oh my God, we're gonna get in so much trouble.
because there's one last customer who isn't satisfied.
No,
This creep keeps calling her. He's driving us nuts.
leave me alone.
He wants to slash their prices.
Who's there?
He wants to cut their inventory.
You're crazy.
In fact, he wants to chop until they all drop.
I saw him kill Linda.
And now he's turning their retail store
There's gonna be one more killing here tonight.
into a wholesale slaughterhouse. Intruder.
There we go.
The Mist?
No. I mean, that would be better. Yeah.
It is. And he goes, that's in a mall. I'm like, that isn't in a mall.
It was in a
It's in
grocery store.
Was it? Well, that's why I said one of
Literally like at a Piggly Wiggly in like Maine.
one of the greatest grocery store slasher flicks.
Oh, those are the top two out of the two I can
just
list off
wanna
right
s-
now.
Yep.
Before we get into this, I just want to say, remember back last week when you picked this movie and you were like, it's in a grocery store, and I was like, what is that? Just go up to the front and smash the window and run away. That's all this bitch had to do. I literally said it to myself. I'm like,
Listen,
just break the window. And
how
go.
many
Just
times
break
in
the window and
movies
go.
do they bypass the smart decision and
Yeah,
just
but
completely
It's
fuck
that
everything up?
Geico commercial where they're like, we should hide behind all these rusty weapons.
Yeah.
Or these rusty farm implements.
There's
They're
a car.
And
There's a
that's,
car. No, let's
and
go in the
that's
house.
what's funny about it, man.
Yeah.
It's like this is one of those movies where it's like, and granted, I know I'm going to let you guys kind of talk about it because this is a movie that I had. This is my second revisit to this movie because it's been a while since I've seen it. I remembered some things about it, but I wanted to see it again because it's kind of gained a cult status.
Has it?
From what I know and what I've seen on the internets, it has.
Negative.
Because this was something that was kind of presented to me a long time ago. But, dude, yes. Does this movie start off a little slow in the
Thought you were
beginning?
gonna say
It does,
something
yes.
else.
But this is a fun flick to watch.
For an
man.
hour and 27 minutes, in the first 40 minutes, not a goddamn thing
It
happens.
reminded me of
I was
Halloween Ends.
Super
It
frustrated.
really reminded me of Halloween Ends.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can compare it to Halloween Ends.
I don't know. Well, because in Halloween Ends, like, you didn't get to see Michael Myers for 55 fucking minutes out of 2 hours.
But they did a lot of build up in this one because
Did they?
The boyfriend gets out of jail. They're prepping you to think that he's the guy that's killing everybody.
Which was stupid
So
because you knew
obvious
that
it wasn't.
wasn't him immediately.
Old
but
leather
even you
Chad
said you're
over
like,
there.
oh, I didn't expect that guy.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
didn't
kinda
expect
true.
him to be him, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't think. At no point did I think it was the boyfriend because they made it
Right.
too obvious.
Right.
But my problem is I thought, like, because Bruce Campbell was in the credits, I thought it was Bruce Campbell. I thought that
No.
was going to be the killer. Like, it was just going to be some guy. who
No,
felt
that-
like,
he's
no,
got
this
a
is the
very,
Chris
very small
Jericho
part.
version of in Terrifier, where no, he's right at the end.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell's got a very, very small cameo in this.
You get both the Raimi brothers.
So that is the only thing I found interesting about this movie is how the fuck did Sam Raimi get involved with this? Why is he in this? What
Well-
is the point of him being in this? Is this before Evil Dead?
No, well, see, here's the thing. This is the funny thing. This movie, I think, comes out in 1989. Evil Dead, the first one, came out in 1981. So there's an
Okay.
8-year
Oh, there's a
gap
big
where
difference.
this movie has already been made. Part 2, I think, has already been made. Everyone knows who Sam Raimi is, I think, at this point. Why the fuck is he in this?
I think
How
it's-
is he in this?
I
Did
think
he
it's like
owe-
an Adam Sandler thing, dude. I think this
Could
is like
be.
their Adam Sandler group.
I
And they
guess.
wanted to make this movie because they're like, listen,
and
I
I'll
got
look
this
it up as we
great
go,
idea.
But I think he knew the guy. Like, there's no way. Like, he's like, this is a guy who's like, hey, I want to make a movie. Do you want to be in it?
So
Sure,
Scott
why
Spiegel, the director, he's the bread guy that delivers the bread and immediately gets fucking killed at the front door.
not? It's dumb.
Were you like, hey, that's me. I'm the
No.
bread guy. And I worked in a supermarket. This movie's awesome.
See, I actually think that for a movie, it's a fun movie because there's a lot of good kills in this movie.
It has moments of fun. Like, I
Yes.
think structurally this movie is garbage.
yeah, I was.
It's
think-
not a great movie.
thing.
I think
that way, yes.
acting is terrible. There are weird moments where, like, one guy's talking to the chick, and the camera looks like it was placed on a grocery store shelf, hidden behind bread, as if it was like a hidden cam, like sex thing. And it's like top down. I'm watching the top of the guy's head talk to the girl, and this is before anything ever really happens. And I'm like, what? Why did you make this choice?
There's a
Right.
lot of perspective
The
shots.
choices in this film are so questionable, and it's almost and when you're watching it, that's all you can think of. I'm like, this guy was us. This guy is us who got the chance to make a movie because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
This is
There was-
exactly why I picked it because I knew that it was going to spark a conversation with you guys because I kind of enjoyed it at that level because it is so fucking campy.
No, because
it is such a
even-
campy
It is very
flick.
even when
campy.
you find out the killer, you're like, his motivations make absolutely no sense. There's no reason for everyone to die.
His life is the grocery store, man.
When he said that,
Well, and
I was
here's
like,
the thing.
oh, no
okay,
wonder why Scott picked
okay,
this.
so we're gonna spoil this. You know, if
are
you
we
don't
gonna?
wanna know.
You want to spoil the killer? I think we could talk about it without spoiling the killer.
Why?
Okay,
I
you're
read the
right,
trivia
you're right.
on it. I read the trivia on this. All the advertising back when it came out
Shows
spoiled
him.
the
It
spoiled
does.
the killer. Like there was no
The trailer
build-up.
does show him
killing everybody.
killing everybody,
Okay.
which is weird because it's like they try to keep it a secret throughout the whole movie, but the original trailer shows him
Right.
as the killer,
Okay.
And I'm like, well,
which
there
is
goes
which
that
is super
tension.
weird.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the trailer, I mean, just go watch the trailer. It'll spoil it.
Go watch the
anyways.
movie. It's on Shudder.
It's a fun.
It's a what?
hour,
An hour and a half.
20 minutes to watch, dude. There's some cool scenes.
There's an hour and 27 minutes,
It's neat to see Raimi
and it
in
feels
the young
like it's 3
role.
hours long.
The first 20 minutes.
I
feels
mean,
3 hours.
Dude.
it's one of those that somebody obviously worked in a grocery store and was like looking at all the equipment, going, "This would make a great horror flick."
Except no one does that in a grocery store. They don't chop up chicken
With a bandsaw, they used to. Yes.
Okay,
They did.
at
No.
fucking 2:00 in the morning.
Well,
Well, you're prepping for the next day.
well, they're prepping. I mean,
they got to mark everything down 50%.
Yeah, they're prepping for the grocery store to end, so they're trying to get all this shit done. So I get that. What made me mad is fucking Sam Raimi's brother cuts a watermelon in half and then cuts the direct. It's like getting a plate of brownies and someone cuts a brownie out of the middle of the fucking brownies
Kim wasn't
and takes a
watching it.
handful. And I want to punch him in the face for
Yeah,
eating that watermelon. that
Kim
way.
wasn't watching it, but she would look up every once in a while, and she looked up at that part, and she goes, "Oh, it's how you would cut a watermelon."
I fucking
I'm
what,
gonna
like
tell
a
you right now.
waterhead. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Christ.
I've done it
Oh.
because that is the best part of the watermelon.
No shit.
That's
but
exactly
you-
why he did it.
You cut a piece off and hold the rind like
No.
a human.
If you
and
have
eat the
access
middle.
I
to
agree
a
with
watermelon
Scott-
that you don't have to
with
pay
Jordan.
for, you are eating the center of it and just tossing the rest of it away.
You're a fucking monster.
I
The
know.
more I learn about you people, sometimes I swear to
No,
God.
I agree with you 100%.
If you are cutting watermelons in a store and you have disposable watermelons, you are going.
You're the
for
guy that cuts
heart
a
of the
hole out of the
watermelon.
middle of a cheesecake and just eats the middle. And
I do
then
that
just-
little. I do the little triangle in the middle of the pumpkin pie.
Do you cut
to piss
like
everybody off?
You bite the middle of the pizza out and just oh god, you're a monster.
No,
I
would,
just- I
would
watched
only
him
do that.
do
to,
that. I'm like,
I would
this
only
is
do that to
horrifying.
Aaron just to irritate him.
Well, yeah, I could see that being something you just do to piss somebody off,
it
but
wouldn't make me mad.
yeah, that frustrated him. Like, you son of a bitch.
Just take the square brownie pan and like the squares in the middle, but it's like cockeyed. It's like off-centered and shit.
It's not even like a real square. It's like, who cut the fucking trapezoid out of my brownie pan? So, but yeah, this movie, it's fun to watch. I think Sam Raimi and his brother in the role, like being just younger, because I've grown up watching his movies and I've seen Sam Raimi act in some movies, and so it was neat to see it. But production value, it reminds me of those straight to DVD movies that I think I for the life of me I can't think of the production company that does these things. But it's like, you just watch Pacific Rim in the theater, but guess what? Atlantic Rim is out on VHS.
Right. Yeah.
And like, this is what
You're
this
right.
is. Like, this is like something else was made that was better.
Yes.
And some idiot with a camcorder filmed their
Dude,
version of it.
There's a kill in this with like the bandsaw that this guy must have been so proud of, because when the final girl is running through the fucking store, there's a scene where she's like hiding in the cooler, and you have to stare at that fucking head for 25 minutes. And
Right.
here's what I truly believe
where the
happened.
budget was spent.
The guy was like, I had to spend all my budget on cutting this head, so we're going to make it the most predominant part of this fucking movie. It's going to be on the poster, and she's going to sit in front of it for 10 minutes while she's waiting for the killer to come get her.
Right.
And I was like,
It says they had a budget of $100,000.
It shows.
nice. Yeah.
Actually, so in
We
on
know.
And that's
1989,
1989, 100,000.
on IMDb, it says the budget is $130,000. So what I do know is that they did utilize an abandoned grocery store.
Yes. I
They
heard
had
that.
to purchase all the product, and they purchased it from a place that has all the expired goods. So they put all these expired goods and meats and all that shit in this grocery store, and over the time of filming, I guess the building got super stinky because like stuff was like rotting.
Shocker.
And they had like produce boxes that were like shit was going
How long
bad.
did they take to film this? This is like a 2-dayer
Like
at most.
3 hours.
At one
3-hour shot.
One take.
At one point in pre-production, Toby Hooper was originally set to direct.
Oh my god.
That would have been
Could
cool.
you imagine the director of Texas Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Massacre?
Yeah.
Poltergeist, and then he does Intruder.
Yeah.
So
So
when
I'm
you look
just-
at the beginning, and it's like Greg Nicotero is credited for
Yeah,
like
these are all-
effects, and I mean it's actually
It's a student film. This is a student film
yeah,
that got a theatrical release.
It really is. So I'm just gonna say what we're all kind of beating around, but this movie fucking sucks. However, I did enjoy some of the killings. The killings were fun, but like the box smasher thing, that was fun.
Compactor, yeah.
And
I love the
like that was
balers. I
fine.
used to play with one.
The bandsaw was a little like okay, like we get it. He's cutting his face off. I liked that the progression. It got more progressively worse as the movie went on. Like you're just getting stabbed, and then, but overall, I agree with. I agree with Jordan. Everything. It felt like a movie that was trying to copy another movie, and it was the Atlantic Rim.
Atlantic Rim.
It was Transmorphers 5.
Yeah, I've watched those.
And listen. I don't see a lot of you getting through the first 40 minutes of this movie because
it's a rough first 20.
Nothing happens. And what they try to set up.
No, they said they had the best fist fight in the grocery store within the first 20 minutes.
Right.
And the
Still
fact
boring.
that I swear to God, if you fast forward it, then it looked like it was in real time. If it was,
so
in
slow.
real time, the punches, like he was like winding back comically to punch guy, and the boyfriend had superhuman strength.
He was
took
also
on everybody,
rapey as shit.
Oh,
like
he like bitch slaps the girlfriend, and then they
tries
fight
to
him
kiss
off.
her.
And I love how like they were holding him, and then the boss comes running out, hey, and then he takes a running kick into the guy's stomach, or like does like the uppercut. Like it was so.
I like how
like,
he
it was
winds
just,
up
like,
being
so
the
bad.
hero of the film.
Just,
like he winds up killing the owner of the store. But I did hate the ending more than anything. I thought it was one of the worst.
Could you imagine like
ever.
they do a final girl and then they're like, well, no, you're still fucking in trouble.
Yeah, and I get it because there are a lot of horror movies that end on a downer, but that seemed too mean. It was Terrifier level of mean, where they stop the guy and then are immediately arrested for the killings
and
in the grocery
get
store.
blamed. Yeah. And there's maybe like 5 people in this movie. Like, why did this need an hour and a half to kill off 5 people?
An hour 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you had to.
You're like, I counted.
You had to wait for the first 40 minutes of them, all the exposition and the stupid
Well,
sandwich.
yeah, I knew him. And
Oh,
he
cool.
was in jail.
Yeah, we've all seen Raising Arizona, you fucking nerds. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So-
No, it was a lot of borrowed concept from a lot of different things.
Oh, it was a patchwork horror film, man. I can tell you that right now. But what I enjoyed about this is there are a lot of fun kills.
Right.
It's super campy. It's something that I could actually you could throw on and watch again, man. Yeah, is the beginning a little bit slow? Yes. Do I think it detracts from the overall like campiness and funness of the movie? I don't think so.
This is
I
something
think
has to make it through those 40 minutes, though.
Yeah,
they
but I don't
are
think it's
rough,
that bad,
bro.
I don't think it's that. I didn't think it was that bad.
I was telling
actually
him as
thought
I was
the-
watching it, I was like, I put him on a separate because I didn't know if you'd watch it. So I texted him separate, and I was like, dude, Scott's movie is just laughably bad, or something like that.
Oh,
And
I
like,
knew it was
I just,
bad. That's
it's
why.
just, this is just not good.
Well, I can
And
get-
it's just 20 minutes.
I can
of
get over a bad
nothingness.
movie as long as it's entertaining, but the first 40 minutes of that movie is not entertaining. The only thing entertaining is that fight, and that
Was
goes on for a
hilarious.
second. And mostly I was just sitting there annoyed because I was like, they're really trying to throw a red hair. Like
Yeah,
this
they're
guy,
doing a lot of setup
and
to
the
try
guy,
to pin the boyfriend.
The guy was
as
like
the, as
red
the killer.
like he was reading the definition of red herring. Okay, so we want to make this guy the red herring.
Okay, so
you're
boyfriend-
gonna think it's him because they kicked him out in the beginning and then they kill, but it's not. It's the other guy.
Well, that's the
who
thing.
says he loves them.
Boyfriend comes in, does his thing, gets kicked out, but then he gets back in and then slaps the girlfriend. Then comic fight, kick him out. And then now we have to give the backstory of why he's a problem.
Right.
But we shoot it as if we hid the camera in the bread. And that'll be fucking art house.
I wish I could go back in time and just be on the set of this. And be like, just be like, are you stupid?
Well, and when I watch movies like this, it gives me hope that when we talk about let's make a movie, this
know.
may actually be something we can do.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
And the idea that we kind of been throwing back and forth, I've been fleshing it out in my head. I
Dude,
think we can make that work.
I'm down.
Technology's better.
when I watch
we can
a
just
mo-
edit everything better. We'll get Scott to provide the bread for the bread shots. we can do all this.
As long as I die in like the first 30 seconds and I don't have to do too much,
Bro,
I'm in.
that'd
When
be
I
great.
watch
you
movies
edit the audio.
like Smile and this, and I'm like, oh man, we can do this. We can get this
Right.
done. But we just gotta like start.
Right.
And but when I watched this last night, I literally told Kim, I was like, This motherfucker can make a movie like this. I can make a movie like this.
Well, you figure $130,000 budget, even back then, to buy all that shit that went into that grocery store had to be at least 80% of their budget.
Well, I was looking at the prices on the window. I mean, you can get like pork chops for 10 cents a pound. So, I mean, I love watching older movies like this because then you see prices the way they were, and I'm just sitting there going, fuck. I just had to go buy ground beef for like $10.
Yeah,
it's like, damn it, man.
Miss those old days. Miss those 1989 prices.
Make
I also
America
hated that
fed
store.
again.
It looked like it was in the ghettoest part.
Well, and that's the other part. It's like
Wisconsin.
This is
Probably where you went to go in Texas.
so. Okay, here's the thing.
No.
Like, you make a movie like this now, it's obviously going to be set in like a Costco or a Walmart, a big box chain. You're not going to
with
put
Dane
this.
Cook in the leading role.
God,
Andy Dick.
right? Employee of the month too, but it's a horror movie.
It's a horror slasher flick.
Fuck, that'd be great.
But you could do a lot of stuff in Costco. You
But
could,
see,
like, drop
that's what I'm
pallets on
saying, like,
people.
there-
and
Kill them with hot
there's-
dogs in the food court.
You put a bigger cast in there. You definitely concede the sow the seed of doubt of who the killer is, and you can make it work. This was in like a fucking bodega, and everyone can pretty much see everybody at all times. Why is there an issue here? There's literally 5 people to choose from. You two were together, so you're out. There's 3 people to choose from.
Right.
Like, there's not much to this, and that's what frustrated me through part of it. It's like there's a very limited amount of people in this movie to figure out who the killer was.
I was sad about the Golden Flake chips. Because we've had Golden Flake on the show, and I was like, oh, the Golden Flake.
There was like name brand stuff in there, right?
Oreos,
like at the
Pepsi.
beginning,
Yep.
they did a shot of the guy. He's in the store. Oh my god, grocery store cart shot. By the way, but it's like,
cart.
we're in a grocery store, and the camera's in the cart, and you see from the camera point of view. And then I started thinking, wow, grocery cart technology really hasn't gotten better, has it?
You know
Like,
what my
those are the
favorite-
same carts I'm using now.
You know what my favorite shot is when she's talking about her boyfriend, and she was like, "Well, what happened to him?" And the camera slowly pans over to her behind a bunch of bars,
Right.
And she's like, "He was in prison."
right. Oh wow.
Well, they did a lot of that stuff. Like, he's like, I need to film this reaction through a bottle.
Like a
An
lot of
empty bottle for no reason.
reflective shots.
And I'm like,
It's if like we're
why?
watching a documentary of a murder happening.
Yeah.
and then
when they throw him out and they shut the door at the front, and the reflection of them all staring at the boyfriend outside in the window.
right, he's just like.
They did a lot of like reflective in the glass shots.
Yeah, it felt very
He's
like
this is going to be the greatest art house,
very artsy
slasher
for
of
a
all
movie.
time.
But I could tell you 100%, dude, this would be you motherfuckers making a movie. You're
I'm
like, you know what would be
telling you.
cool? A reflection.
I'm fine
a
with
reflection
that.
right here.
Oh my god, there's water on the ground. What if we did a pan
yes.
shot and we go through it, and then guess what? The camera turns and we were looking
think
at
I-
not the reflection the entire time.
I
could
I
see
think we
it.
could do a better job, though.
Technology wise, yes. I don't know.
With our
Quality.
iPhones, I think we could do a better job.
So I compare it to, I mean,
You don't think I was
obviously-
looking at the Beast Grip shit now for my phone? Just
Yeah.
be like, let's get a setup. I'll put a camera and
Obviously, the second movie
Circle
we watched
light.
happened earlier.
earlier.
And this movie for 1989 actually feels like it's a lot earlier.
I felt like it
feels-
was
it feels a
like,
lot
like
older.
what-
52.
Well, like what Aaron said, he's like, I don't know if like Evil Dead had come out yet, and you're right. You wouldn't feel like Evil Dead in 1981 came out before this movie. This feels like
I would figure
this is the
end
movie.
of 70s, maybe 1980.
You're
is what I
watching.
pegged
You're
this
watching
movie.
John Carpenter's original movie before Halloween. Like that's what that looks
Dark
like.
Star?
Yeah, exactly. And like that's very low. It's a beach ball fucking movie. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the equivalent of that. This is not where these people should be. I don't know if the director went on to do a bunch of other stuff.
Probably
I know
not.
everyone knows Sam Raimi and his brother and all that stuff, and Bruce Campbell's 3 seconds of fame in this one, but you know where these
Yeah, what
other
happened
people
to
went
that
on to.
guy?
But God,
Let's see. This guy directed Intruder,
did he?
and that's about it. And
I mean, he was an actor in Evil Dead.
he was an actor in Hostel 2, From Dusk Till Dawn 2.
It says filmography known for Evil Dead 2, The Rookie, Spider-Man.
No, I'm sure
I
he's been
guarantee
in stuff.
Doc-
He was
Strange.
in it. I don't think he directed any of it.
The body
So it
count in this
sounds-
movie is 9 out of 11. Out of 11 people, it's 9. Well, no, the boyfriend. So 9 people died, 12 people were in the
So it
movie.
looks like he directed it, and it was like, I'm just gonna be an actor. Maybe I'm not so good at the directing thing.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, sometimes all you need is just your one to say you did it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, again, I get to a point where we shit on Terrifier, but this guy made a movie, he made some money, and now people know about him.
Yep.
I'm sitting in a closet full of movies talking about movies.
Right. And made nothing.
And I've made
we have
$0.
no
In fact, we're
listeners.
putting money into this.
Yeah.
No one's wanting our free shit. I mean, it's
I saw that. Oh, depressing.
and we'll talk about it, but yes. So for me, I think this is one of those ones, like, I do a Discord thing where we do bad movies every now and then. I think this is one of those movies you could throw in as a bad movie, but it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch.
It's not a highly rated movie for me. I think
don't
it's
think it's
about
fun to watch. I would never need to
1.5,
watch this
maybe
again.
2. But I think in a group setting where you laugh at it and how bad it is, it might be fun.
If somebody was like, "Hey man, do you want to watch Intruder?" I'd be like, "No, that movie fucking sucks." I'll be like, the grocery store owner's the killer. Fucking there, I saved you an hour and 27 minutes.
Hey, he only owned 49%.
I know.
And that's the story of that.
The other guy owned 51%. So what do you give it?
1.5. I mean, it's fun. It's not the worst movie in the world. I mean, I've seen worse, but like I said, if you have a group of people, you want to watch something just bad, but you can make fun of it, this might be it.
Someone I respect online gave it a 3, so I just thought that was funny.
I don't know how you do that, but
I mean, I'm probably in the middle. I think 2.5. I think, like I said, it's a fun. The last part of this movie is fun. The kills are fun. It's creative, using a grocery store environment. You got the bandsaw.
Never been done.
You got the baler. You got all that kind of shit. It's just a fun movie to watch in the half. First is it's a little bit of a build up to get there.
Scott's
But
biased
you know what?
because he worked in a grocery store and it's his movie.
Nah, I just think that it's a fun watch, man. It's a campy horror flick. I think you get to see Sam Raimi. There's some things that make me laugh in it. Yeah, I mean it's a fun movie. At the end they get fucked over and you're like that's terrible.
right? Such a downer.
So
It is a bad movie with some glimmers of hope every now and then.
And
That's
that
how I'd explain
is
it.
why I'm going to give it I'm going to give it a 2. Sam Raimi's in it, Bruce Campbell's in it, so it automatically gets a full point. There's some fun kills, still too long for what it is. Maybe this should have been a short movie, or like a movie short. What am I? Yeah, short movie, or is that what it's called?
I'm just gonna stare at you.
Am I right?
It's like a short film.
A short film,
like
yeah.
a student film, something like that.
Something like that. I think going full hog on this was not the way to go, and I did enjoy watching some people die. Other people dying was like, okay, relax. And then I really hated the fact that motherfucker
got away
with all of it after he got chopped, which really he didn't get chopped. At one point, he's beating some guy, that boyfriend, up in the aisle with a severed head, but the head is like as hard as a rock, and I just thought that was a little silly.
Well, my thing about God, I can't believe we're gonna keep talking about this. The thing is like his motivation to do all these killings is weird. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I get killing your partner,
right,
and trying to blame other people, but then he just kept going because
I have to keep killing.
Basically, I got to kill all the witnesses,
Well,
even though no one witnessed him doing it. He could have
the
gotten
thing is,
completely away with it.
He even says, "I've worked here 10 years." He treats them like family, and then he just
murders his family,
murders them all in a drop of because of plot.
He literally feels bad that this grocery store is going under. He didn't want to sell it. He wants to recommend all these people for the job, and all of a sudden wants to murder everybody within minutes.
I'm sure the Menendez brothers love their parents too.
No. It doesn't make any sense. You're gonna work at the grocery store for 10 years. Okay, it gets sold, and then you're just gonna kill your entire staff, even though like you were just having dinner with them and telling them how much you cared about them, and you don't, and all that.
Maybe it's all a big front.
But it didn't. It came
Maybe
out
he
of
was
nowhere.
Really crazy.
Then an evil entity got into his body. In the second movie,
that would have made more fucking sense.
It's like those weird things on the news where they're like, man, you know what? He was a really quiet guy. And he liked
was
everybody.
racist.
He loved everybody. He just, I guess he just turned.
I guess the swastika tattoo on his neck was a big identifier, but
you're making
great with
excuses.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I can understand, yes, in some cases, but this dude literally not 5 minutes before was, definitely bleeding heart, trying to get people to know that this wasn't his fault. He's trying to fight for the. Pull back the curtain. I watched this movie not 10 minutes before a part of this movie, like the whole beginning part I watched, had to pause it, and then went immediately into a meeting where my company laid off a bunch of people and talked about it. And I was like, well, at least I didn't lose my job. And then I'm finding out that's what's happening in this movie. I'm like, well, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
And then he murders everybody. I'm like, well, I get it.
I'm going to go murder everyone.
And it's just hilarious that was his motivation. He's just like, he just kept going. I'm like, why'd you kill the bread guy? Why'd you kill everybody else? Like, there's no reason to kill the bread guy. He was just bringing bread.
He was just bringing bread.
And he was just
And
slinging
he's
buns.
just like, I guess since I've been killing, I'm gonna keep on
Right.
killing.
And I like
guess he
how
got
he's
the-
like, this is a big grocery store, man. I have one tray of bread for you. Because like 6 people shop in this fucking
Scott was
grocery
like,
store.
I would have gave it a 4.
Scott's like, that's not realistic. I would know.
Most inaccurate delivery I've ever seen. One fucking plate of bread. You get your Wonder Bread out of here, you motherfuckers.
I mean, then you forgot about the old man at the beginning.
Oh,
What about
with the grocery bag?
He's
drops
like,
the
am I
grocery bag.
bothering you ladies here?
Yeah, because you know what? I'm the old man because I'm sitting there at a grocery store, and instead of focusing on me, I got the 2 cashiers talking about what they did on a Friday night. Or the worst thing is the cashier and the bagger having a conversation about their weekend. I'm like, finish my shit. Let me leave. I don't care who you had sex with Friday night.
No, I like-
don't care.
I like the one conversation where she's like, "Oh, Ricky hates it when I'm late. I got to get home or he's gonna beat me." You know, like, I got to get him this giant box of Corona beers. Like, okay,
It's just so bad.
She's 5 minutes late. He's calling the store.
yeah,
Where's she at?
Hey, you left yet?
yeah.
Why aren't you home?
Where are my Coronas with
Jeez.
the other giant sack of fucking groceries?
So,
Anyways.
yes, this was a
Movie.
this is a thing.
Crappy movie made you guys talk about it.
It's true. I mean, sometimes
Yeah, we have a
that's the
show to
thing.
do, Scott.
Yeah,
We're not
that's
just going to
fun.
be like, it sucked. Anyways, that'd be a 5-minute fucking show.
I think horror movies are one of the only genres where you can kind of get away with this, where you can get away with bullshit movies
Ah,
and still
not to
be
me.
kind of fun.
You know what the funny thing is? You're not totally wrong because if this was any other genre and they were doing something like this is a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to compare this fully to that movie with Steve Buscemi that we watched, but it feels that way where it's like this is a movie about the industry and how this is, and then when you give me 5 dream sequences, I'm like, you lazy
love that
fucks.
movie.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is that movie where if this was any other genre, this would be the worst movie I've ever seen. Where if it's a horror movie, you get away with, okay, this is a terrible plot,
not
but I
giving
saw a
it a
guy
pass.
get decapitated, so I'm a
not-
little happier.
I'm
now.
not giving
Okay.
it a pass because it's a horror movie. You
I'm not
still have
saying.
to work in some. You have to have rules, and you have to work in some realm of reality. And turn off your brain and just enjoy it is not a good
I'm not-
argument.
I'm
and I will
not
never
defending it.
There
I
are
gave it a
no-
lower score
there
than
are no
both
rules
of
in
you.
horror movies.
Oh, well, Sam Raimi, dude, he gets a point just for being in the film.
Right?
Then he gets
So-
hung on a
And then
fucking
you
meat
take
hook.
out half a point and wonder why he was in the film.
But all right. So, what was the next movie we watched, Scott?
Second movie is a Steven Spielberg adaptation to film, the 1985.
Is that who directed it?
No.
Oh, okay.
So full disclosure, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's fucking last name. Dan
Busey.
Adius.
Okay.
I'm assuming. Come at me if I got it wrong.
No
Oh,
one.
Anyway,
you
I
you
promise
Adius
you, no
fans.
one's coming at
it
you.
was it was written by Steven Spielberg. 1985, Silver Bullet.
It began in May. And every month after that, whenever the moon was full, it happened again. And again.
What was that? It's over there. Don't point that at me.
Nobody knew who or what was responsible.
Come on.
They only knew it had to be stopped. Now, from the master of mystery and suspense, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet, the last glimmering hope.
Which I was right about.
It's the Coors story.
The
It's the Bob Seger band.
the
The mountains are blue. The werewolves are out.
the whatchamacallit, Stephen King wasn't in it.
I didn't see him. I
Yeah,
mean, if he
I
was
mean-
in it, maybe he was in the
Yeah,
background
unless
somewhere.
he was
but
like somewhere.
he was in the
there. I don't
werewolf suit.
I still think he just got a writing credit for it.
know. Probably.
I'm sure.
I don't know. It was probably one of those that, like I said, I looked it up real quick because I had kind of changed my movie and I wanted to kind of go with this because I thought, oh, okay, this one's got Gary Busey in it, man.
Gary Busey.
This was going to be. This is either going to be fun or it's going to be a giant train wreck.
I'm Gary Busey.
And we got all of Gary Busey.
Gary Busey was awesome in this movie.
He was great.
I love
Uncle Red.
Yeah,
and he plays the perfect part.
Yeah,
he plays
drunk uncle.
The drunk,
he's the
divorced
funkle.
uncle.
He's the funkle. He's like, you know what? You're crippled. I'll build you a motorcycle.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
It goes 900 miles an hour.
95 miles an hour. You can outrun the fucking murderer. Yeah, it's great.
Which is a werewolf.
Just don't tell your mother. Well, where are you going to hide that thing?
Yeah.
Well,
also, guess what? Here's some fireworks. I'm going to hide those, too. Like, this guy is literally, like, one bottle of Jack short of getting this kid drunk.
But see, I liked his relationship with the kid because he was like...
He was the funkle. I mean, for
like,
lack of a better term.
But you could tell, like, he actually gave a fuck about the kid.
It's true.
And whereas the parents were just like, oh, he's like a disabled kid. At least you wouldn't know from watching this movie because he uses his legs so much.
I cannot believe you're watching this fucking paraplegic climbing trees. The scene that the mom's getting him to go upstairs for bed, and he's got the wheelchair. She's got the wheelchair right next to the fucking stair seat,
and uses his
from
legs
Gremlins.
to get into the chair.
Yeah, and then immediately it was like, instead of using hands to at least make me think that his legs don't work, he literally lifts left leg out of the chair. I'm like, all right. All right.
And
so the werewolf is the least unbelievable thing. Got it.
Canceled.
He's crawling on everything. He's just using his legs.
Where's the American Disabilities Act when you need
It's a good
one?
thing this movie wasn't made today because there would be an outrage.
Dan Atlas would be like, he'd be like fucking a pariah. Because
they'd be like, how dare you get a non?
I can't believe he was directing
individual.
Corey Haim and was just like, hey, dude,
Just use your legs.
You're fucking
Look, if you
you're
can't
paralyzed.
if you
And
can't
he's
get
like,
out of the
okay.
chair, just lift your leg. No one's going to notice.
Hey, man, you're paralyzed. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my legs. Yeah. Just like
yeah,
paralyzed
we'll edit
people.
and post. No one will notice. We'll just do a top half shot.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that.
Dude, immediately. And then after that, I kept watching. Every time his legs were in frame, I'm sitting there going, is he going to move? Is he going to fucking tap dance in this
where
movie?
He's like walking across the trash can or like dragging himself across the trash can.
So
he's
bad.
using his legs to like...
Oh, yeah. I guess his
like
upper
push
body
it.
wasn't working. He's like, well, shit, I got to like just get a good foothold. It's ridiculous how not handicapped he wanted to be in this movie.
So Corey Haim plays his kid Marty, who is bound to a wheelchair.
Marty!
You wouldn't know it watching the film. There's some killings start happening in the town, and clearly it's an 80s movie, and he's a child, so he must solve the case.
And he immediately just goes, werewolf!
Yeah.
Like, nothing about this movie, the killings, have ever been leaked to the public that it could possibly be something. Everyone thinks it's something, and then he just immediately goes, hey, Uncle Red, it's a werewolf. Like, what? What?
Gary Busey's like, shut up, you little fuck.
Gary Busey tells that story I like, though.
Fucking love
Jackass one?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
No, Gary Busey's great in this movie.
He always calls me that. I love it. I love it.
Is the fucking the joke? The guy goes into a bar.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
here's your drink, jackass.
Yeah. Why does he call you that?
And then the mom just like continues to like just scold him after they go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, it's great
You
is
drink
that
in front of my children.
early on in the movie, the sister who is narrating the story as if this was a Lifetime original.
Yeah, I like that.
It's great. It's very Stephen King. Like, it's like this is a novel come to life. Someone's got to narrate. And the daughter, who is now older, is narrating about this one summer, or not even summer. It's like
her name's Jane.
It was like late, early
Just
August,
a small
September.
town girl. Jane Coleslaw.
Are you serious?
Living in a werewolf.
I hope it's coleslaw. Coulson. Coleslaw. It's coleslaw.
It's coleslaw.
Samsonite.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Can't read that far.
Yeah, it's.
I told you when we were driving 90 miles an hour down the freeway. I can't see.
Coslaw.
Coleslaw. All right. So, coleslaw here. She's narrating the movie, and she's talking about that's the summer
Megan
or the end of the
Follows
summer that
is her name.
ended up happening, and it was the worst thing to ever happen in their small town. So then, at some point, she's talking about how she...
Probably Coslaw.
I think it is coleslaw now that I think about it.
I still like coleslaw.
Yeah, coleslaw is much better. Adds a layer of something. So she's talking about how she's got to be, always. She feels like she's the outcast because she's always got to take care of her crippled little brother. Well, guess what? He's not crippled. He walks everywhere. So at one point, she's telling the brother,
wheelchair.
Right? Oh, so many things. I always imagine that's the only wheelchair he has. So he's in the house like going like all over the kitchen and shit. It's like gas fumes.
I was really intently watching this wheelchair, thinking,
I want one.
how can I build one of these?
Yeah.
Well, it was clearly just like a moped motor on the back of his.
But he's got like independent steering up front, where he's
Yeah,
got like
because
a
they built-
motorcycle.
Yeah,
Because he's got the two wheels.
Yeah, exactly. So the bars, it's not that hard.
I love
Even
how
I
he-
could do it, and I don't. Can't do
Okay,
anything.
bet.
Do it. Do it. Build a motorcycle, edit the show. I want to see you do these two things you've claimed you can do.
I want to see you build a
Oh,
wheelchair.
you know what? You know what? Kick a fucking 60-yard field goal while you're at it.
Yeah, we'll get into
with
that.
your cripple legs.
We're not going to get into that. It's nothing to do with the show.
Aaron said he can kick 60-yard field goal.
Easily.
That's it. That's just easily.
We're going to the field after this.
Oh,
I have a football.
Why? We just have to go to the front yard. He ain't clearing his yard.
What field are we going to?
We'll go up to school right up the street.
Right. There's a field right there at the end of the street. Just that's not 60 yards. You don't need it.
I gave him the opportunity. I gave him the opportunity. I said, I guarantee you can't even do 20.
Yeah, it's a chip shot, Chippa.
Fuck off.
Anyways, back to the show.
So she's like, the sister's telling the brother, who's definitely closer to the uncle than she is. He's an alcoholic. The mom's pissed off he's an alcoholic. He's gonna get divorced. Blah blah blah. So next scene, Gary Busey's literally playing cards with Cripple Kid with a bottle, not a glass, not like, oh, I'm just having a beer, a bottle of a half-drunk bottle of Jack Daniels. And then he's chilling, and I'm like,
real drunk.
Maybe
don't drink
he
out of
isn't.
glasses.
Right? Maybe he is an alcoholic because this dude is just chilling at Aunt whatever face, his sister's house with the kids, with a giant bottle of hooch, and it's. I love Gary Busey in this movie. If anything, Gary Busey gives this at least 2 stars for me,
dude.
And then you add in the
His
rest.
performance by Gary Busey is one of my favorites.
It's that and Point Break. I just like him and Point Break.
The Weapon is pretty good.
Oh yeah, Mr. Jonathan or whatever. Yes. Okay. So
but this was
3
my
Gary
favorite
Busey
one.
fan loves
because he's like so nice to Marty in this.
Oh, he's acting in this one.
Yeah, builds the motorcycle and is just absolutely.
He's lovable.
Yeah, he is lovable,
and he's just great.
I thought he was the werewolf at first. I really did. I was like, oh, because she even makes like a comment like, you come in to town once a month. But apparently this guy's only kind of a werewolf. He's like can change when he wants to.
Oh, another red herring.
I don't know.
What?
They changed the lore of like the normal idea of what werewolves do. It's not just a full moon thing. It's he's got something going on. They never explain how he got the main werewolf guy, how he got it, what he's got. It's just that he has it. And he is, killing people, changing every night. And they explain it as if the full moon amplifies his power. So, the full moon is he's at his strongest. Like, throughout the rest of the month, he's like, kind of werewolf. And then, he's mega werewolf at the finale. You know what I mean? So, they kind of changed that. I completely loved a lot of this. My problem when I was originally viewing it, and this is kind of goes to, how... Scott viewed Phenomena last week where, he got a weird copy. I got a weird copy at first because I was watching on AMC Plus. And AMC Plus is combined with Shudder. So I'm like, okay, I've got all the Shudder stuff. So when you search it, it didn't tell you if it was either an AMC Plus version or the Shudder version. The AMC Plus version is edited for commercials.
Okay, I watched the same version as you.
And it made some weird cuts.
I was just going to say.
And it was fading in and out as if a commercial. So when I made my comment yesterday when I was texting or the day before, I was like, cut out the gore, and this is a Saturday night made-for-TV ABC special. And that's why it felt that way. And I was like, this has to be just the way I'm watching it. So I threw it on soap instead.
Yeah,
it didn't do that.
Yeah, full version.
It didn't do that at all. It didn't take away, the cut was the same, the gore was the same, nothing changed.
Right, and I was surprised.
But it's just it just was weird that it cut the way it did. I just felt like it was a TV movie, and for the life of me, I had to look it up. I'm like, was this theatrically released? And am I just imagining that this was some CBS special?
I watched it the same way you did. I saw it with the cuts and stuff, and I kept saying to myself,
"Hey, kill my boy, Fade to Black."
Did they really cut at all those times, and then I was like,
it was just bad.
And then I just looked it up, and it said, yeah, it's a TV movie, like it's the TV version.
It's aired on AMC.
Yeah, with its uncut TV version. So I was like, okay.
So same content, but weird edits where it just faded in and out.
I like we're off to commercial break and we're back.
It felt very reminiscent of like an 80s made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of dug that feeling, but it made me like question what I was watching. I'm like, did this air somewhere? Like, this was very bloody. Like, the first kill was like a fucking decapitation.
And you see the head. And I wonder if Ari Aster saw this movie and was like, I'm going to make a movie one day with a head.
And then the head was just sitting there, ants and maggots. And like,
just like Hereditary, dude. Just like Hereditary. I looked at it. I was like, Ari?
Did
you watch this?
So speaking of Hereditary,
maybe if Gary Busey was in Hereditary, it would have been a fucking movie.
Fucking yeah. So I saw something the other day about Hereditary, and it was like couples costumes, and it was like the girl, and then like some guy was dressed as a telephone pole. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Anyway, side note. But yeah, like I even sent that. Like the first death is the wino guy at the train tracks, and I'm sitting there watching him. I'm going, I know this guy, and I looked it up. It's the baseball manager from Major League. He's just a little bit younger.
Really?
Yeah. The one that was running the
Without
team.
the mustache.
Without the mustache, but it's him.
Huh.
And I'm like, I love that guy.
I thought the same thing. I was like, this guy looks familiar, but I didn't even like really think about it after that.
This movie has a lot of familiar faces, but they're obviously much younger because this was in the what year did you say? Like 85, 84, 86?
85.
Let the movie take place
85.
in the 79 and 76 or something like that?
Apparently. I guess that's one of the goofs in the movies because like when she
really
goes to the
explain it.
shed where apparently they just collect cans for their entire lifetime.
Well, the church was doing like an aluminum can drive. So like they
looks
were
like
just
they've been
putting it
there
in the shed.
forever.
You got to hide the bodies.
Apparently there's, I guess they show
Wait, hold
Diet
on,
Coke
hold on.
cans.
What are you doing? Why are you standing? What the hell, man?
I'm readjusting.
Oh my God! Sorry,
you
can't move.
He's got to move his balls to his other leg.
My back is killing me, dude. So, yeah, I knew you were going to do it the second I stood up. I was like, I wonder if he's going to let it go or if he's going to say something.
Nope.
No, but I guess there was like Diet Coke cans, and I guess they said Diet Coke didn't come out for like another like 4 or 5 years. Or
Cry.
Interesting.
Fucking
I'm just saying
cry.
that's one of the
Who cares? Does
it's
it
one
take
of
away
the
from the plot?
technical.
Yeah, everything
aspects of
else
the
was
movie that-
spot on. Werewolves,
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
it automatically deducts 3 points from me.
Corey
takes place in a different
Haim's
universe.
movable, non-movable legs, yes.
Yeah.
Diet Coke
cans.
you go right to hell.
Wrong.
Stephen King, you son of a
Yep,
bitch.
Caught that.
But yeah, no, I watched this and I'm sitting there going, why don't we have more werewolf movies?
We
Like,
have tons, dude.
But see, like
Not good ones.
they don't make a lot of like mainstream werewolf movies. Like they did Wolf of Snow Hollow, but that was not really a that was like a red herring werewolf movie.
American Werewolf.
Are you gonna name something from '82?
I'm just saying, we got all these.
Are we gonna get
fucking
into
movies.
what's mainstream and what's not? Because then we're gonna talk about your next pick.
Oh, we are.
Okay,
Don't you
I'm
worry.
just saying.
Well, and that's the first thing I kind of like. So the werewolf,
the Vikings,
Underworld, dude.
movies. I'm just saying, like
a
movie
kinda
like this doesn't
traditional-
exist anymore.
Like a traditional werewolf movie is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, I compared
Silver bullets.
this to American Werewolf in London because of the graphics and the effects.
Oh yeah, the rubber mask.
Yeah, I think that
Thought it
this
was more
is
the Howling.
This
A
is
little bit.
This is way way drawn back graphically. When they show him at the end and he's changing back and it's reversing,
It's more believable.
it's more believable until they go into the complete layover where they just are like superimposing an image and then they just fade it to him.
they rotoscoped it out.
Yeah,
They're like,
and I'm like, shit.
you can almost see like the cell being pulled off the screen, like when Poochie went back to his planet.
Yeah.
I did.
I love The Simpsons.
Poochie died on his way back
That
to
was
his home
just a
planet.
delayed reaction.
It's just so funny, the visual in my mind.
Right, because you get to see it being pulled off the screen.
I'm just looking up werewolf movies. We have a lot: Ginger Snaps, Dog Soldiers, The Howling, Silver Bullet, The Wolf Man, Wolf.
What's in the last 10 years?
Not much.
Exactly.
Wolf Man.
I mean, yeah, I'm
just saying, like-
I'm there with
like-
the Howling and
I'm like saying, you
American,
know-
Wolf?
American Werewolf.
I'm
Those
just
those
saying
are
you
kind of
don't
your standards.
see the Howling made. You don't see the American Werewolf. You don't see the Silver Bullet, like the traditional werewolf movies. Even though they kind of,
Twilight.
damn it,
He's not a werewolf.
you got me. Never mind, you did it.
He's not a werewolf.
He's just a wolf.
No,
It's
Same
a bad
fucking-
actor.
It's a person that turns into a wolf.
Not a werewolf.
Is a werewolf.
No, wrong.
Werewolf, Darewolf, Anyway, but I didn't originally. I didn't see who the werewolf was until his dream sequence, and the second that guy woke up from his dream sequence with all the werewolves, like people changing in church, I'm like, well, he's the wolf. It's clearly him.
Yeah.
He's dreaming about werewolves. Not one person ever mentioned werewolves in this movie, and then he's dreaming about people turning into werewolves. He's the killer. Immediately he's the killer. And then that's like, it took me kind of out of it a little bit.
When he was dreaming about it, I figured it out, but I thought the eye scene was way drawn out, where she's like going to every door to try to find somebody missing an eye.
It was very reminiscent of like a
Cinderella.
This was a very much.
No, there's a part where she's like looking at their eyes, and they're like, "How are you doing, Megan?"
Right.
Can't see it, but
and
I'm
all
like,
the old people.
Yeah, I'm like opening my eyes and like.
I was like,
moving
there's
towards
someone
Scott.
over there with a towel wrapped. I have to find out some way to unwrap his face.
What about you? You got any cans?
He's
you guys
like,
leave
no.
me alone, you small child.
Not 10 minutes earlier, I was inciting a mob to go kill somebody, and then 9 people died, so we had to stop that plot.
Oh, did you? Okay, so when they go to into the woods to find the werewolf, and everyone starts dying, and like one of the guys gets. There is a black guy that gets thrown against a tree.
You have to, yes.
And you can see the cord.
Yeah, of course.
And I mean, not like, oh, blink and you'll miss it.
He's like backflipping.
It's the most obvious. You can literally see the line, the cord. It like lays down like under the tree. And I rewound it and watched it like 4 times. Like, how did they miss this? Because it is so blatantly obvious. And like I said, it's not a blink and miss it thing. It's just a like they missed it. And it's hilarious.
My favorite line happens around that time, where now I'm going to start using this. Are you going to make lemonade in your pants, Aaron?
Yeah.
Are you going to make lemonade in your pants? He's like, shut up, woman, we're hunting a werewolf. Like, I'm like, this is hilarious. And then the werewolf, like, not even the werewolf, like, attacks people and claws them up and eats them. The werewolf is a human. Like, he takes a bat and beats somebody with it.
Yeah.
Like, why are you beating? You have claws. You have teeth.
And they work.
You're a goddamn monster.
We've seen you ripping apart people at the beginning of this movie.
Right. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, the point of a werewolf is that you go into a completely different mind frame.
Oh, he remembers everything
But
he's
he's just
doing.
like, I'm going to grab this fucking bat.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, like,
fucking idiot.
Is it, if he remembers and knows what he's doing, is he, when he's in human form, does he know he's doing it and
if
doesn't
a tree
care?
falls in the woods and those go ahead and make a sound.
Like, he's just not at home in werewolf form watching fucking Andy Griffith instead. Like, you know what? I don't
know.
feel like killing anybody tonight.
Because there seems to be a ton of anger, like, once he changes.
And to think about it, like, you start...
Think about it.
When you think about it...
Think about it.
It makes sense. Okay, so, you know, if you gotten to this point and you don't want to hear the rest of the spoiler shit, turn it off, whatever.
It's the priest.
It's the priest. It's obviously the priest.
We always spoil our movies.
And then you start realizing all his kills essentially were sinners, or, you know, like he talks about how the chick, you know, was gonna commit suicide, so he spared her soul eternal damnation.
Suicide's the worst thing you could do.
The dialogue
as a
between
Catholic.
that chick and that guy at the beginning, where he's like, "It's your oven, but it definitely ain't my bun."
I'm like, wow.
And she's like, "You know what? Your words really hurt me. I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat 900 pills."
Fucking, she was just eating like children's Flintstones chewable like vitamins to try to overdose.
And she's even looking in the mirror and she's like, suicides go to hell.
Well,
if I'm pregnant, I'm double going to hell.
So then this just leads me to the guy
The second
obviously
layer of hell.
knows what he's doing in wolf form because he's targeting specific people. It's not he's killing no, because then
he's the Dexter of werewolves.
Now here's the thing. I like this movie, and I'm going to preface it with that.
I loved it.
And I will give it a good score. But they set up rules for this werewolf that he's targeting certain people because she probably told the priest in confession. He knows what's going to happen, so he kills her to save her soul from, committing suicide. What was the reasoning to kill the little boy? Convenience.
He was a dick.
He was an asshole. So, like, my thing is like, you chose one victim, but that one seemed very random. So, like, what is the motivation
You mean
for
Marty?
him? The little kid in the gazebo.
His buddy.
Hit the buddy that he's like, Marty's like, I have weird psychic powers for a second. I know something bad's going to happen.
When he looks back and he's flying the kite.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to hang out here longer.
Yeah, he killed Milhouse. He's just out there flying a
boring.
kite. And then, like, yeah, right. Hey, I'm going to go play Nintendo. I know, I got this. I'm going to fly this kite.
Yeah, but my thing about it is he looks back at him and he's just like so content flying that stupid fucking kite.
Oh, that kid is happier as a pig and shit. Like, it was just so great. And then you knew he was going to die.
That was the latest, greatest toy in 1985.
The kite?
Yep.
The kite.
Can't wait to get Parker.
Kid's like, this is like my fucking Xbox, man.
Oh, my God. It's Kite. Did you get to Kite 2.0? It's got a tail. The updated Kite.
I hear you can put a key on it.
Look at this shit.
I can't fly it until I buy the internet.
This one's got graphics. This one's got a smiley face on it.
Online Kite only. And then like he kills the kid, which seemed random. You know what I mean? But then he kills the cop because the cop's investigating what's going on. So, like, he knows what he's doing.
He's an asshole.
And it just, I don't understand the motivation behind why he's doing certain things.
The scene where he gets stuck in the...
Eye?
No. Well,
in the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge scene was really good.
It was good.
Like, and I liked how he had a 5 o'clock shadow, and he was like, you see, Marty... I am your god now. He doesn't say that, but that's how it felt. And I was like, oh, convenience that this fucking farmer guy.
I also like girls going around, dropping off, trying to get cans to try to find the one-eyed man.
Right. I like
she goes over to drop the shit off. She's like, well, Marty's fucking lying to me. Whatever. I'm just going to go drop these cans off. And then they do the shot of like the priest and he's doing his gardening and she's, whatever. And then like they do that really close up and then they reveal he's got his eye patch.
Eye patch, yeah.
But she doesn't see it yet. And it's that really close-up shot. And he goes, oh, just put the cans in the shed. And I'm just like, he's the killer that we knew 20 minutes prior.
Right.
But now we know for sure. And then, like, he confronts her in the shed. She sees the bat that was somebody else's.
The Peacemaker bat
and
from Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly. Sees the patch. And he's like, well, say hi to your brother for me. And like, oh, now she knows. He knows. And it's like... Now it's very
but she doesn't know that I know that she knows.
Well,
I was going to send a screenshot last night, and then I got lazy and I just didn't want to rewind it.
Wow. Oh, editing the show now?
So when he sat there and they made the little like ransom note thing with the clippings, and it was
yourself.
It was like go kill yourself.
Kill yourself.
I was like, oh look, it's Aaron in 1985.
Okay, so
this is vlog.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. We had the exact thought because
if there was no blog,
I even said to Kim, I was like, oh,
this is him.
This is me before the internet time.
Aaron's crippled in a different way.
Just sending ransom notes to people telling them to kill themselves.
Well, the funny thing is that she's narrating it. She goes, I sent that first one, and then we sent 5 more in 5 consecutive days.
Why are you so angry?
So, like, I know how the mail works, so she sent it, and then the mail probably got there 2 days later. So, like, everything's timetable's ramped up. So for like a week straight, he's getting fucking cosmopolitan letters. What is this kid doing? He's just making all these letters to kill himself. Oh my god, I laugh so hard. Like, it's such a comical thought.
1985 Aaron would be so proud.
And here's my other thing, and they draw this little part out too, where it's like he did a ransom note. He did a ransom note, and he gave it to the girl to mail. And she's doing it as if it's Mission Impossible. She's looking around.
Oh, I know.
She's making sure no one's seeing her, as if mailing a letter was so out of character for anybody in that timeline.
Yeah.
Well, I got to make sure no one sees me putting the letter in the mailbox. Why?
It'd be different.
Who cares?
It'd be
it's
different
sealed,
nowadays.
isn't it?
It'd be different nowadays if you saw somebody dropping a letter in the mailbox. You'd be like, "What the
I'd
fuck
be
is that
confused
person
if I saw
doing?"
a phone booth and someone standing in it. I'd be like, "What fucking serial killer are you? Who are you calling and telling to kill themselves? Because there's no chance you should exist." Like
Aaron,
new challenge: find a picture of a payphone,
fucking payphone,
and send a picture of it.
I think the last.
I don't think you can find one anywhere.
I think the last one in existence was like in New York, and they got rid of it like 3 years ago. It was just like some kind of thing, or like remember those old phone booths that just you would open up and you go in there and then you'd stick your finger in. It's like, I want to find a quarter, and not realizing now that there could have been fucking needles in there, and you're just like dumb sticking.
No
dumb
one's giving away free drugs.
I need my fucking Reese's fentanyl.
Yeah,
the Reese's cups are stuffed with fentanyl pills. That's what they're stuffing in them next.
So fucking stupid.
So much things.
Oh well. We hope you guys.
No, let's rate this movie.
Oh, that's right.
Have you ever done this?
No.
It's been a year and a half.
Yep. Rewind.
Sorry. So, what did you give it, Jordan?
I honestly, I really dig this movie. Like, for all its faults and stupidity, I love Stephen King's movies because he writes it as every book. I feel like he writes like the kid's story. Everything's always from the kid's point of view and things like that. So like it, and
that's usually what pedophiles do.
Stand by Me and things like that. No, they live to 85. And I kind of like that kind of movie. This was fun for me. I think it's a 3.5. I think it's a 3.5. Like I will watch this movie again. In fact, I may actually just go buy. I think was it Shout Factory or Scream Factory has their copy.
Cool
it's like $15. Yeah, the artwork's cool. I like a good werewolf movie, and I think the special effects in some parts were very cheesy, very Rubber Suit Man, but the last werewolf fight was actually kind of fun.
Rubber Suit Man.
I do like how they went to that one guy to make a silver bullet, and they're like playing it like, oh, it's just a joke. My buddy loves the Lone Ranger, and then the guy's like, what are you gonna use a 45 caliber bullet for? And the guy who makes it, I don't know, to kill werewolves. I'm like, all right, this is the timeline we're living in. So I dug it. I had fun with it. Like it's very cheesy.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot. I thought the gore was cool. I really liked Gary Busey in this. I like how much he cared about the kid. His interaction kind of gives you a what could have been if he didn't go crazy and get in those accidents and just become the Gary Busey we know today. But I think overall, like, this is probably I already said this is my favorite performance by him. I really enjoyed this movie. I would watch it with my kids. Perfect Halloween film, perfect werewolf movie. It's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. I had more fun with this film than I did with Intruder. Intruder can blow me. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5. Scott?
I'm probably and here's the funny thing. Timeline wise of this movie and Intruder, to me, was almost very similar. This movie, it took a lot to get ramped up.
I saw Silver Bullet in the fucking theater.
No, it kind of the first 30, 40 minutes of this movie.
Back in high school, I
had
was a werewolf,
plot,
so.
kind of. It just kind of trickled along until towards the end,
Yeah.
which is very similar.
I couldn't disagree more. There's werewolf kills. There's exposition.
I mean, the killing starts almost immediately.
Immediately, yes, but there's a lot of story and stuff. I'm just saying, don't get your panties in a bunch.
But you're wrong. Like you're wrong. And I'm not even trying to be a dick.
I'm not wrong.
You are, because
I hate siding with Aaron, but
yeah.
I do think that if you're trying to compare the two, it took 40 minutes for Intruder to really ramp up, where this one literally is, well, this is the horrible story of the summer of this year, and then they start killing people almost immediately. Yes, you get a longer tale to get to the werewolf part of it.
Right.
But
that's kind of what I'm saying.
It's Murder Town from minute 13, 13 on.
They have to make you care about Marty, so later on when the stakes are high and you're searching for them, you are like, okay, why would I care about this kid?
I know, I get that. I'm just saying it's very similar in effect to where, for me, it took a little bit to get to the big story grand finale of the movie, where it's it kind of, yes, we got the kill, with the woman, you got the severed head type stuff, but then there was kind of a lot of building up to it. Which, again, does not make it a bad movie.
I'm
just saying I'm right about a 3 with it, because I think it was progressively better. I think Gary Busey is fantastic in this movie. I want a motorized...
I want more Busey.
Yeah, I want a motorized wheelchair. Other than that, I didn't think the werewolf was, the greatest. There's better werewolf movies when it comes to effects.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just comparing those other movies to this one. It was kind of a little campy, effects wise, but I mean the story's fun. So it's about a 3.
I liked almost the point of view of the werewolf. Like at one point, you could see something happening, and you see the werewolf hand moving bushes out of his eye line. Like, oh, this fucking rose bush is in my way.
Reminded me of Harry Potter.
I loved it. Like it was just fun. Like
that is a really weird take, Scott, and I'm going to disagree, because what you're pretty much saying is no movies are good until the last 30 minutes.
No.
Yeah, because this movie gave
That's not what I'm saying.
Here's the female, here's the sister, here's the brother, here's their relationship. Oh, he also has a relationship with his uncle. His parents are too, what's the word? Hover parents. They're too cautious.
Until Gary Busey comes in, that's when it kind of gets a little bit more interesting.
Well,
everything kind of before that, I mean, he was probably maybe 30 minutes in
maybe
or so.
Give or take, yeah.
So, I mean, until he comes in, then I kind of really got back engaged with the movie, because I was kind of veering off for a little bit. I enjoyed the first kill where he was mauling her in the bed, the whole thing. I like that stuff, and then it kind of slowed a little bit, and then we get Gary Busey's character coming in.
This movie starts off with like decapitation and the heads flying, and I'm like, well, strap in, this is gonna be fun, and that's how it was for me. So I won't go crazy like Aaron and call you an idiot for having this opinion.
I didn't say he was an idiot.
It's just what you would do. No, you're wrong, you moron. For me, like, I don't agree with you in this sense, though. Like, I don't feel like it had that long and boring of a buildup as the other movie. Like, that's just for me. Like, I just feel like that one was
like that.
This one was all right. We got some kills. Okay, we're gonna put some exposition in there, like every other horror movie. I get it, but I was already in with the other shit, and then it ramped up again. So like, it's got peaks and valleys, but whereas Intruder, it literally is like I have to crawl out of a basement before I get to the meat and potatoes of this. This was just fun as we go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get you have your opinion, but
and it's right.
No, it's the most wrong opinion ever.
Wow.
Anyways, all right. So I hope you enjoyed our October double feature stuff. Maybe we'll revisit this in the future. I don't know, because I like talking about 2 movies.
Next October.
Look, we're all surprised we got to this October. So I mean,
we're moving.
If you get it to next October.
It's like walking uphill.
Fucking miracle.
We are moving.
No shoes in the snow both ways.
There's a lot of things that could cancel this show between now and then.
Oh, really? Are we close?
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. So I'm picking my next movie, but let me pull it up. So why don't you go
Before
ahead
you do
and
that, I want to bring up something. I know last week you had mentioned we're doing this giveaway. We're doing the giveaway of the Halloween box set of Part 6, H2O, and Resurrection. I know you had mentioned on last week's show that you wanted to pick the winner on this week.
We're waiting.
I would like to maybe push it out another week. I'll push it hard on the Instagram. I got it on Facebook. I also put it on TikTok. I think we're gonna keep this open. I think we'll run out the rest of this run. We'll with the snack show, and then we'll give it an extra week, and we'll get some more submissions
during the next show.
Yeah,
next movie show.
So we'll pick a winner. All the comments that are coming in that are following the rules and doing all this stuff, I am liking them. So I'll create a list. We'll definitely pull a winner, and we'll give away that box set. But I think we should wait another week.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I will be picking the next movie that Jordan is convinced is not a popular film.
I never said popular.
But I think
said no one's ever fucking.
I think people have heard of it. So
be hard pressed to find this movie anywhere.
It's on Tubi or Pluto. It's on Pluto TV. So this is 2013, directed by Jeremy Sahir. Distributed by the Weinstein Company.
Yeah, it's got the makings of a really popular movie that everyone's heard about.
It is called Blue Ruin.
I apologize for the mystery. I don't mean to scare you. You're not in any trouble. I just thought you should be somewhere safe when you found out. With somebody. He's going to be released. I don't know how much they are missed. It's an awful thing you did to them.
If it were my family, I might do the same. I know this is personal. That's how you'll fail.
I'd forgive you if you were crazy. But you're not. You're weak.
Hello. It's me. By my count, that's 2 of yours and 2 of mine. I don't know how this ends.
sports man. One with the gun gets to tell the truth.
Cricket.
No.
Not to be.
Don't even. Why don't you pick more Intruder, you fucking loser?
I'm sure more people have heard of Intruder.
I would take that bet in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go down that road, but I understand what you're trying to do.
I want to throw this out for clarity, is that in our little group chat, this movie was presented. And Jordan's like, nobody's heard of that movie. And Aaron said, everybody from 2013 have heard of this movie.
And I said, they're all dead now, so fuck that.
So I Googled popular movies of 2013.
Oh, I guarantee it didn't even crack the top 100.
It was not even mentioned anywhere on any link that I ever
saw.
saw.
Okay. Well, let's do popular movies of 2014 since it was on about 1 million best of lists that year. Because it looks like it came out.
We're all on our phones right now. I'm gonna paint. I wish we had a video component right now because we are literally scouring the internet.
So it stars a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Exactly, because no one's heard of this fucking movie. You're not selling this.
Makan Blair, Devin,
Mohak Muhammad, whatever.
Devon, Rattray.
If you can't pronounce their names, no one's heard of this. You know who's not in it? Sandra Bullock. You know who's not in it? Any other actor that anyone's heard of.
Okay. Well, it has 74,000 reviews on IMDb.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is the cast of Road Rules made a movie, and it was crowdfunded by MTV.
I think it was.
Probably. That's why no one's heard of this. You know,
everyone's heard of it.
Yeah, every teenager who was watching MTV at the time. No one's heard of this movie, and that's fine.
I'm gonna tell you, I've watched MTV a lot, and I never heard of this movie.
Here was
Not
my
2013.
Here was my issue when you presented this, and it's not that you're presenting a movie that I haven't heard of. It happens. I haven't seen everything. This is the point of this podcast. But when you do this, hey, have you seen Father of the Bride? Sure, I've seen that movie. Have you ever seen Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Sure, I've also seen that movie. Okay, great. Have you seen Empire of the Sun? Yes, I have. Okay, so you gave me 3 pretty well-known movies, and then you're I think I'm going to go with Blue Ruin. What the fuck are you doing?
But rewind it to the conversation before where he says he wants to pick more movies that people have heard of.
Well, yeah, that's true. He's like, you know what? I think we want to stay away from some of the weird shit that we do pick, and sometimes that's fine.
Blue Ruin was listed on many critics' top 10 lists of 2014. Chase Whale, Josh Bell, William Gross, Mark Doyle, James Rushi, Russ Fisher.
You're literally speaking Korean right now.
It's okay. The AV Club, /Film, Metacritic, Las Vegas Weekly, Twitch Film, Collider, fucking. Anyways,
let me ask you, where did you hear about this movie?
I've heard about it for years. It's one of those movies that people are always like, "Oh, have you ever seen Blue Ruin? It's fucking awesome. I caught it on, I caught it on the TV the last 30 minutes, and I had to look it up and watch the rest of it."
I gotta say, people said that to me too.
Now here we go, and this is why I know this movie got picked. Okay. This is just a small snippet.
Hold on.
No. Let me finish. The Roger Ebert review of this movie starts with.
Can I talk?
No. Oh. The bloody fingerprints of Quentin Tarantino and the Coen brothers.
No, I'm dead serious.
Among other violence-prone auteurs are smeared all over this tidy and tautly wound thriller. This is why this movie got picked.
Listen to me right now. I had no idea.
I got the
receipts. There is a movie on my shelf right now called Big Bad Wolves that I want to pick so bad. But the reason I have not picked it is because it was Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie from 2014. His favorite film.
Oh, it wasn't Blue Ruin?
No, but I swear to God, this
was number 3 and number 4.
This movie is on a bunch of lists, and a lot of people that I work with have told me to watch it.
And I am completely okay with you picking this. I am not denying that we can watch this. But when you set me up of I want to pick something mainstream, you give me 3 pretty well-known movies, and then you pick something that I had no idea existed.
We're just giving you shit because it was the build-up.
Fucking asshole.
I get that I am super in love with Quentin Tarantino. I'm buying movies based on his podcast now, and I'm trying.
I get it.
And I'm trying super hard not to pick those movies.
Do them. I don't care.
I don't want to be that guy.
Be that guy. That's your role here. He is the guy that doesn't edit the show on time, and he just slings bread and plays softball.
Right.
Lives in Flagstaff. You are the Quentin Tarantino stan. I have to be the moral compass here and call you out on some of the weirdest conversation shit that we do.
I don't want to be the
Okay,
Tarantino
there's going to be
stand.
crossover every now and then. I understand that, but don't set me up for mainstream movies and pick
But
Blue Ruin.
But I will tell you right now.
You
that
have to
if
say
it's-
things like, have you seen these movies? I think I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon 2. Like, just give me something that anyone's heard of. Don't come out with MTV's popular
I like that I told
2014.
you to get mad about it.
I think it's hilarious. I'm not even
funny. It's funny the way it went down.
I'm not even
That's
mad.
what's-
It's
that's
just a
what's funny.
series of events that led to that choice would not have...
A series of unfortunate
Again,
events.
erase the rest of it, and you said, hey, I picked my movie. It's Blue Ruin. I was like, what is that? I'll look it up. Sounds fun. No, you gave me Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, Empire of the Sun, and fucking
Do you want to
Father
know what,
of the
Do you
Bride.
want to know what list I got it off of?
Quentin Tarantino's top 10 movies of 2014.
No, I got it off a popular movies you've never seen list.
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah.
here's the plot.
Popular movies no one's ever seen list makes more sense for this particular choice.
So let me get to the
Again,
plot real
not
fast.
even going to judge this movie on that. I just think it's hilarious we got to that point.
It's just funny.
An ominous piece of news sends a drifter back to his hometown to exact brutal and inept revenge for the deaths of his parents.
Inept revenge. So, like, is this a comedy? Like, he goes in to kill people and he slips on their blood and hurts
I
himself?
don't know. It says inept.
No, it's MTV's version of
inept.
Batman.
Weird.
INEPT.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I'm not judging your reading ability. I just the way it sounds, it's like he goes to exact revenge, but it's done in comical form.
It's revenge for his parents. Meanwhile, a sinister villain just trudging himself out of a freaking toxic bath.
Are you done? Okay. Anyways, so
Batman
Blue
anymore.
Ruin, that will be in 2 weeks. Clearly, we have Snack Show next week. I am not the provider this time.
I've got a
so I
few.
hope you guys got that snacks.
I haven't
I
been
will.
much of a provider
I am
yet.
going.
I'm heading
to
to the store after this to go do some dinner shopping, so I will keep looking, and there's a few things I need to pick up. So.
Okay. I'm going to see Quentin Tarantino on Thursday, and I'll be back Friday.
Weird.
And then we do the show on Saturday. So I'm
Mhm.
going to try on Friday when I get back to go and do some more snack shopping. So I do have a lot of stuff. I just
That sounds like a fun trip.
I wish you could go.
I wish
maybe,
I could have
maybe,
gone too.
Maybe have PTO. I mean, sorry, dude. Get some,
Hey, I don't know if you've heard. I have kids.
Can you trade time at
No.
your work? Oh, okay. Because we can.
No, it's all one pool of time, and I've used a lot.
Oh, all right. Well,
on our last trip together to fucking California.
I'll be eating Dave's hot chicken, listening to Tarantino talk about some movies. It sounds like the greatest. I wish my best friend could go. But
And I'll be cutting out letters in a letter that I'll be sending Aaron to kill himself.
Kill yourself.
I should do that.
I
That's your
love
Christmas
those-
gift. I'm going to send you ransom letters.
I love those
Shit.
conversations too, where Aaron just like he knows that already he's leaving you behind for this trip, and then bro, guess what I get to eat?
Right.
Dave's hot chicken.
There's a Dave's hot chicken here, though.
It's like, sure,
I'm not going.
just
to
rub it
with
in my
her.
fucking grill.
There's a Dave's Hot Chicken in San Diego that we didn't go to, and I was like kind of bummed about that too. But no,
didn't know that.
it just goes back to when it all happened, where it's like, hey, we're going to Austin. We're not going to Austin. I'm going to L.A. And without skipping a beat, start sending screenshots of where he might be staying, what he's gonna do while he's out having a great old time. And I'm sitting there going, "You son of
Well,
a
if it makes you
fucking
feel
bitch."
any better, I don't get to go to the New Bev because there is no Thursday matinee. There's only a night show, and I can't go to it because I'll be too busy watching Tarantino talk, and then I'll be
At the New Bev.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, you're not
it's
doing the
at
New Bev one. You're
Ace
doing the
Hotel.
Ace Hotel.
So
yeah, it sucks for you.
If any listeners want to come and meet up, do a meet up at the Dave's Hot Chicken around 10 p.m. on Thursday night because it's open
2:15 a.m. sharp for Manly Love.
Oh.
So yeah, I really wish you could go. I don't wish you could go because you'd be bored, but I really wish you could go. So.
I know, and after listening to some of that podcast this morning when they were talking about it, it does sound like a really fun time, and I really do wish I could go. I can't make a Thursday.
Sorry,
night work.
I wish I could.
Because
make
honestly,
work.
it's not just a Thursday night. Even if we flew in or whatever, it's a travel day. We'd have to take Friday off, and I just can't take 2 days off to do this, and it's not something we can fly in, check out, and fly home. You know, I don't mind doing this late night stuff and going to see movies, but I can't make that work. So.
Right, I get it, dude.
Have fun.
I will.
Asshole.
I will have a great time.
It's great.
Well, I mean, I'll be by myself, so maybe I'll get murdered
I'll be,
or something.
At home washing my tights. I don't know.
And the thing is, I can't even like film it for you. Or
No, your phone's gonna be all locked
you
up.
have to.
There's gonna be no proof of this
Hey.
other than his $99 copy.
Amazon's
of,
got
his
those hipster glasses that have the little camera in them.
Oh yeah, go get some of those.
Which is funny because the book comes out on Tuesday, and I'm not leaving until Thursday. And there's an audio version of it, so I'll be.
You're gonna listen to it the whole way.
Yep.
Nice.
So
I know exactly what this is about.
I remember this passage.
Remember that one time you read that? You'll be that asshole.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get done with it and go to the group chat.
I'm not gonna lie though, like even though I can't make it, when he goes out of town and does something like this and comes back, there's always something fucked up that's gonna happen. I can't wait for the story that we're all gonna hear on the.
I'm missing a leg. So
this is gonna be great.
Yeah,
went into this business venture with this homeless guy.
I just met this family randomly, and now they're like best friends.
Yeah, I stole a backpack, but this time I got shot.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be fun.
All right, everybody. So next week is your snack show, and then a week.
And I'm gonna just to throw it out there. Beth Clark did respond to our original email. She did provide a recipe, and I will make it for the snack show.
Yes. Okay,
So,
cool.
Beth, it better be fucking good.
If it's not, no.
You're not
sticker
listening to
for
this.
you.
You've already told me you listen to the snack show only. So, whatever. You're a huge asshole. You'll never hear it. But thank you. I'll make that recipe. It's gonna be fun.
And sticker it up. You want our address? Let's give it out.
I've got
on
it.
the air.
Yeah, let's just read it on air.
All right, everybody. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.